Devin, and welcome to This Gay Life. Well, it's springtime, and I think everybody's noticed that you're starting to sneeze a little bit more than usual, and the oak pollen is really doing a job on your paint for your car and all that. Also, it kind of brings to mind, of all things, budgets, and I think you've heard everybody else doing fundraisers around, but we also have to kind of start thinking about fundraising ourselves. So if you'll stay tuned after today's show, which is going to be extremely interesting, we'll be giving some information on how you can help us do some fundraising. So we'll want you to stay tuned. Today's guest is Mike Bromberg. He does the SOMO News Connection, and he kind of does it all by himself. And we're going to have him talk a little bit about it. Welcome to the show. And what made you start this?
Well, I saw a need for it. I've always been very interested in publishing and in the press and media and monitoring the media. I've been very inspired by GLAAD, the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation. So I figured there are things going on in southern Missouri, and there's just not that much press about them, so why not just try and do some.
Did you have any idea how much work it was going to be when you first started? Or?
No, not really. Basically the whole idea of it was just like go through the gay press and also the mainstream press and see what was being said about gay and lesbian and bisexual people, and focus on issues that are relevant. So no, and it started off really small. It started out with like 30, 35 people, and now I have a mailing list of about 160.
Wow, that's really good.
So yeah, it's work. It's like I think it's about 20 to 25 hours per issue. And that was just like going through stacks and stacks of stuff, papers, all sorts of papers, and talking to people, schmoozing, seeing what's up, like hey, what's up in your area, and just including all that. And it's really fascinating. You know, I've got to meet a lot of people and interacting with a lot of people and learning a lot about the state of Missouri. So it's great.
You said it takes about 25 hours to put together one issue? Or?
Yeah, and that's all inclusive of everything I do, and that includes like sitting down with a month's worth of USA Today's and just going through them.
Ooh, that sounds thrilling.
Yeah, like probably the worst thing about USA Today is that it has that section where there's like a little tidbit for each state, and so there's 50 articles, and usually out of that there's maybe one or two that deal with homosexual issues. So I'm just sitting there like reading through all these things like Verna gets first prize for her eggplant in Wyoming at the state fair, and meanwhile underneath somewhere there's something. So it's kind of frustrating. I actually usually clip those out and do those last.
So there's about 99% of Verna and her eggplant. And
yeah, it's just amazing what the USA includes as news. It's just really wild.
Slow day at the office.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So like the 20-25 hours includes all that, going through St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and just like trying to keep on top of all the organizations that are doing stuff now in Missouri, which is a lot. But both the
Do you know about how
positive,
many? Or?
Well, no.
Is it like more than 20, less than 20 organizations, or hard to tell?
I don't know.
Sorry, that's a trick question.
C, no. There's a lot. Like a lot of it is in the I-70 corridor in St. Louis and Columbia, in Kansas City, but more and more people are starting to come together in southern Missouri, in rural areas like Springfield, West Plains. There's something going on in Neosho and Noel, all the way down in the wee bit corner of the state, and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to be going to some sort of I think it's like a political event, but it's also a camping trip.
Oh, okay.
And that's May 13th to 15th in Noel. So just hearing about stuff like that is just really exciting, because it's a lot easier in St. Louis or Kansas City. There's a lot more people active. You have a lot more of a support group. But to hear about Joe Smith living in redneck Arkansas or something like that, just like deep hole somewhere, and having a coffee house with 10 or 15 people is just really really exciting for me. I love hearing about stuff like that.
Well, that's kind of where we really need to get organized. Like you said, it's easier if you have a lot of people around you in a large city, but it's even harder when you have people more spread out.
Yeah.
You do this by yourself. Did you ever have any help? Did you ever think about getting help? Or?
Not really. I'm pretty much used to doing things by myself. I have a certain way of doing things, and I'm kind of neurotic and anal retentive in that way. I just have certain ways of doing things. I have my files certain ways, and I go through things certain ways. So in that way, I'm kind of difficult to work with at times, but I'm pretty happy doing it myself. I feel all right about it. It is something that I'm committed to doing, and that I feel is very important. I feel the work is very important. So.
When you first started, did you think you could be able to do something like this on your own, or did you think you needed something?
It's really not that hard. I kind of get the feeling from a lot of people sometimes that they feel like they can't do anything, or that you have to have a lot of training and you have to have all these contacts in order to do any sort of activism, and that's just so far from the truth. It's just so easy. Oh, it's not like. Nothing's ever really so easy, but it's certainly possible for someone to get involved and do something just using skills that they have. So in that way, I never really had a doubt that I could do this. I've put out newsletters before, and just little things, monthly things or whatever.
What kind of equipment do you have? I mean you have a computer, because it looks really nice. Here, let me kind of show a copy here of the newsletter. This is was it last month's? This is last month's?
Yeah, that's last month.
I think. And it looks really nice, and it's always just chock full of all kinds of incredible information. I know I get half of my stuff from there. They're quotables, and they're nice small little itsy bitsy sentences that you don't have to meander around to figure out where the artistic ends and where the fact begins.
Like part of it's the fact that I just don't think I write very good text copy. So it's just a lot easier to take other people's text copy, read through 9 paragraphs, and just summarize that in a sentence.
That's a great skill. Not a lot of people can do that.
Well, that's really the whole thing. Different people have different strengths and weaknesses, and it's really up to the individual to find out what they are and what they can do comfortably, and how they can get active, what they can contribute. Because it's pretty scary now, around the country and around the world. There's just a lot of anti-gay stuff going on, but at the same time, there's just so much exciting stuff going on too. I hear every day about community centers forming. Sometimes a gay bar will appear in a town where there are none, or something like that. And I'm not really into bars, but like anything like that is supportive for rural people, or for people who have no access to that. There's always new publications being formed and new groups being formed, and a lot of people who are just everyday people are getting politicized by all these actions by the radical theocratic right. So in that way, it's very interesting, and it's a very exciting time to get involved with gay and lesbian activism. There's just so much going on, and there's a lot to fight against. There's always a lot to fight against. Obviously, I don't think there's anything new, but
I think one of the neatest things that's come up, though, and what I've seen a lot of in the newsletter, just in the few months that I've been receiving it, is that there's more and more positive things showing up.
Yeah.
And the percentage of positives to negative is growing, which I think it's wonderful. It's showing that more people are getting involved in positive ways.
Right. Yeah. It's really easy just to get caught up and just feel like there's this huge wall in front of you, and there you are alone with this little rock, and you're going to throw your rock at the wall, and nothing's going to happen. But if you just focus on the radical right, then you're just going to fall into despair and not do anything. But it's really easy to get involved and to start something positive also.
Yeah.
So I try to focus on both aspects of what's going on.
Okay. Well, you're involved in a lot of other groups too, not just into the news. I mean, besides doing the newsletter, why don't you tell us a little bit about the groups that you're involved with?
Okay. First, I got involved with the Ozark Human Rights Coalition, and that's a group based in West Plains. And I think we've been meeting for about a year. We started after the first MOM conference, which was in May of 1993, and we realized that there are liberal or progressive-minded people, there are gay and lesbian and bisexual people and heterosexual allies here, like not here, Springfield, but down in our area, and like why not form a group and get involved and put something together, and part of the impetus behind it was the Missouri on the Move conferences, and part of the impetus behind them was the actions of the religious right in the state. So
which they were trying to push they're just starting to do the push for the amendment,
right,
the Amendment Coalition, which is headed up by Paul Summers and his group.
Right. So
you're involved in Show
right,
Me as
yeah,
well. 'Cause
yeah. I just joined Show Me about 2 weeks ago at the second Mom Conference in Columbia, and it's a great group. It really is. I'm really impressed with a lot of people in it. They have a lot of experience. They have a lot of energy and enthusiasm about the work that they're doing, and they just have a lot of knowledge that I'm really tapping into and I'm getting a lot out of. And also it's a way for me to be involved in a statewide group, and I think that's really important. I really value the work that we're doing. So.
Well, they also have a lot of resources, an unbelievable amount of resources down here in Springfield. I think because you're in a rural area as well, the resources were semi-limited. For one reason, because there's a smaller group of people, and also because a lot of people do not want to be connected with anything that might be considered gay because they fear losing other clients or they fear other things. But once you get all the connections from the larger cities and stuff, I mean, there's all kinds of things available, everything from lawyers to health organizations to information on all kinds of groups, and not only in the national but also statewide. That was what I found really amazing about Show Me, is their amount of contacts for just about anything you want to do. I mean, even like free software for fundraising.
Right.
It was amazing. I was astounded. What did you think of the Mom Conference?
The Mom Conference. Well, it was very exciting, as it was last year. It's very empowering just to be in a room with 150 people or 200 people that are just really committed to activism, to creating positive change, to working towards the future. I mean, just being in a room with energy like that is really exciting. I thought there was always too much to do. Like at each point in time, there was like 5 or 6 workshops, and I wanted usually to go to at least 2 of them. And so that was a problem. And then one of my main focuses is networking with people and meeting people. And I found that I just didn't have the time to do it. I was so busy. I mean, I was learning really great things. I was just learning so much, and I was connecting with people some ways. But I wanted to do more one-to-one networking, and I didn't really have the opportunity to do that as much as I would have liked. But I did meet a lot of people that I hadn't met last year. I renewed friendships with people that I had met at the first Mom Conference, and it's just very inspiring in many ways.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. I kind of felt like I got overtaxed at one point because you were just getting flooded with information and you had no place to sit down and just kind of mumble to yourself and say, okay, I got this now.
Also during the conference I attended 3 Show Me Equality meetings.
So on top of that.
That was also on the Friday night of the conference, I was accepted as a member, and then it was just boom, work, and all of a sudden I have to start dealing with consensus and all these issues I hadn't really thought about, and it's really exciting. It was really exciting for me.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. We had 2 individuals from Show Me Equality on last week, and they talked a little bit about that. And they were just 2 of the individuals that are just very interesting people. And I mean, you yourself are very interesting.
Think so.
I mean, well, I think it's wonderful. I mean, you're doing a project. You're doing a project that is just of such immense importance. I was wondering if maybe you had some tidbits and stuff that you'd run across that you thought were extremely interesting or extremely, I don't know, out of the ordinary that you'd run across that maybe not everybody had heard of or thought about.
Everything is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, besides Edna and her eggplant.
Well, I don't. Trying to think. Well, exciting things to me are since I started Show Me Equality, sodomy laws have been overturned in Ireland, Russia, and in Nevada.
Oh, really?
there's been a new gay and lesbian community center in Wichita, Kansas, which I thought was really exciting.
They have a conference coming up too. Do you know anything about that? It was mentioned in the Telegraph in Wichita. I haven't got the dates in front of me. We'll probably start talking about that next week.
I'm not familiar with that.
It's sometime in May.
Sorry.
Well, did you bring any of your sources with you that we could kind of see? You want to talk about some like Missourians for the American Way and
close. Missourians for Freedom and Justice.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That was close.
Yeah. There's a lot of really great groups out there now that are doing a lot of work. In state, there's a group based out of Clayton, which is by St. Louis, named Missourians for Freedom and Justice, and that's a people of faith group, and they're doing really important work outreaching to people of faith in churches, and that's really important for us because that's kind of where our opposition has their strong points, going around in churches, getting signatures against us and stuff like that. So I see their work as really important. I'm also in St. Louis is the Privacy Rights Education Project, who Leah Edelman, who was here last week, is a part of PrEP, and the work that they do is just phenomenal. I met Leah and also Jeff from PrEP at the Mom Conference. In Kansas City, David Wida and Chris Esterberg, also on Show Me Equality, but also involved with the Human Rights Project, which also is just really important. They all these places that I'm listing network and organize and provide information to places that perhaps don't have accurate and up-to-date information. They're involved with with lobbying and
PrEP just came out with some new information booklets that Leah gave to me last week.
Right.
And I was amazed. They're very professional, and the information in it is incredible. It talks about gay parenting. It talks about
that was really wild.
If anybody would like information on any of these groups, we can't list all the addresses and phone numbers for all of these because they're so numerous. But if you'd like to get in touch with any of these groups or even like to know about them, we're putting together a sheet, a little piece of paper that has their phone numbers and their addresses of where you can get a hold of them and who's in charge of them. So that way you can be involved in that way. We'll have the number at the end of the show, and you can just call that number, leave your name, and we'll get back with you and give you the information that we have. If we don't have the information, we'll work like crazy to make sure we do get it. Even if we have to like call around like crazy to get it.
Right.
But we'll definitely get that for you. Let's see. Is there anything you wanted to say about the Somo News Connection, or anything in particular?
I'm really excited to do it. I'm really happy to find a niche somewhere where I could offer something to the community and to people that they'll find useful. So and in that way, it's very rewarding, and I like it a lot. I don't know, really. I guess that would probably be it.
Well, it does say up in the corner, though, it says there's no copyright or trademark. Please copy and pass on to family and supporters. And it says, please do not give to fundamentalists. Thanks.
Yeah.
And
on the next issue, it says, please do not give to or feed the fundamentalists. and that's, it's important to keep these things in context.
Yeah, know who you're giving your money to, that's for sure.
Right.
Yeah, but if somebody wanted to do something like this, maybe not quite as extensive, but just kind of a little information thing in their area, would it be that difficult for them?
No, not really. Like even the work that I'm doing, if you put it in perspective with other news media, like Times of the Heartland or the Lesbian and Gay News Telegraph, or all the other gay and lesbian papers that come out. They print thousands and thousands. I print 150, 160 copies of each one, and I have a readership of more than that because a lot of people I send to are couples, or they make copies. It's not copyright. They make copies and give them to friends, but it's really low scale. The average issue costs about maybe $60, $75, something like that, to put together and do, and it's just time. It's really the commitment to time. But if people have time that they want to do something in, either to do their own thing like this or any other thing that better suits their needs and skill level, or if they want to get involved with groups like Show Me Equality or the Missouri Task Force for Gay and Lesbian Concerns, which needs volunteers and board members.
Little plug there.
You know, like there's just so much opportunity out there to do something, but you just have to do it. You can't sit around wondering what you can do and what you can't do. You just have to do it.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be something huge, grand, and expensive. I mean, if you knew some people in your area, I guess you could just sit down and type off some things if you got the SOMO News connection, or you could just make up your own little list and pass it around to your friends. You wouldn't even have to mail it per se. You could just kind of drive around.
Or if you're not into printing something, I mean, like not everyone is going to be into that, of course. Have a house party, invite people over.
Raise money for like a very good project, like, I don't know, This Gay Life. Big plug. Okay.
Or stuff like that. Yeah.
We want to go ahead and give the address in case you would like to go ahead and here, let me see this. And he did this on his computer. Are we doing it over there? Okay. And this is kind of show you some of the great showman, the abilities of.
We're on screen. Now,
there it is. Yes.
No delay. Send today to subscribe. Send $5 to the SOMO News Connection, care of Mike, East Wing Community, Tecumseh, Missouri 65760. Get those checks in the mail.
You probably want to do that all your life, haven't you?
Thank you, Don Pardo.
Oh, well, it's been really good having you here. Is there anything else you need to say about SOMO News?
Oh, is it over already?
Well, I need to get into the news here about what's going on.
Well, no, that was really it. Thanks for having me. It's been a real trip being here. This is really neat.
Great.
Everyone should come on this show. It's really nice.
Okay, we've got announcements right now. We'd like to announce the Lunch for Life from the AIDS Project of the Ozarks is happening May 20th. That's on a Friday. And over 30 local and Branson restaurants are going to be participating in that. If you want some information, if you'd like to be one of the restaurants that helps participate, or if you'd just like to go out to lunch for a really good reason, it's Friday. Hey, it's Lunch for Life. Sounds like a good thing to do. The number for AIDS Project of the Ozarks is 881-1900, and if you happen to miss that number, all you have to do is look it up in the phone book because it's listed. Also, Springfield Walk for the Hungry is going to be happening May 1st, and that's a 10K walk. It starts at 2 p.m., and that's on a Sunday, so it's probably going to be a glorious day to be out walking anyway. You might as well do it for a good reason. If you can't do the full 10K, then, you know, that's okay. That comes out to be, I guess, about 6 miles or something on that order. Anyway, it begins and it ends at the National Avenue Christian Church, and that's at 1515 South National. It's a really good cause if you'd like to do something on that Sunday. That's May 1st at 2 p.m. If you need to get in contact with somebody to help raise funds, you can just call the church over there. They're listed in the phone book, too. And that's kind of things happening in our area. We need to do a little talk about fundraising, and you know, I know how you hate these talks. It's kind of like, son, daughter, sit down. We got to talk about your allowance. So we're going to make this as easy as possible. There's a lot of ways to do fundraising, and one of the ways that's the most fun is to have like little house parties, like what Mike was talking about. And it's kind of like the Tupperware idea, only, you know, basically you have people over and have a barbecue, collect some money, and then, you know, donate it to your favorite charity. You know, whether that's This Gay Life, which could really use it. Oh, I know you get tired of that. Or like something else, because there's other, you could donate to Show Me Equality, or you could donate it to NGLTF, did I get that right?
Yes.
Or you can donate it to Cohab or any of the groups in the area, or you could just collect it for like the AIDS Project or even for Interfaith AIDS. There's a lot of things that are, a lot of different groups that are doing fundraising right now, And I realize you feel like you're getting tapped like crazy, but you know, these are like interesting ways, and you're going to be socializing anyway because it's nice and warm outside, so why not just have a little barbecue or something, or have people over or watch a movie and just kind of collect $1 or $2 from everybody, and or maybe $5 or maybe 10, you know, depending on what you can afford, and donate that money. It's a really great idea. Plus you guys get to socialize, and it's like, it always seems we never get enough socializing. I mean, really good, positive socializing. That's one thing you can do. Also, there's other things. Right now, the Chariot Project is getting ready to do a fundraiser, and if you'd like to get involved with that, you can give us a call. The number will be showing at the end of the program. There's some other things as well that you can do. Be creative. If you come up with a really good idea, give us a call, let us know what you're doing, and you know, we'll help out in any way that we possibly can. Even if you just, you know, even the small things. I think most people take for granted that one person cannot do enough to make a difference. Well, I think that's maybe overestimating that, because one person can make a change. I mean, Mike Bromberg is Bromberg, sorry, is one person who has, just by putting out a newsletter. I mean, starting off with passing around 30 to having 150 people now, and it's an incredible newsletter. There's a lot of things that you can do as an individual, and you don't have to spend a whole lot of time, and you don't even have to spend a whole lot of your own money if you can just help organize an event to get it together for some other charity. Like I said, if you'd like to be involved with the Chariot Project and helping to raise money for that, basically that's a funding organization. If you'd like some more information on it, please give us, you know, contact us and we'll give you some more information on it. But that will be going on, and we could really use your help on that. Or if you want to have a party, or if you want to do anything, like I said, be creative. I wanted to go ahead and give you a second shot at doing your little card there in case somebody wants to subscribe to this wonderful newsletter. And I have to say, I mean, we even got like mention in here, so I think it's wonderful. It's like This Gay Life, you know. So it really tells you what's going on in the area. So I would really recommend, if you've only got like about 5 minutes to skim a page, you know, subscribe, and you'll get all the information that he can possibly cram into one particular couple of pages. And also, we suggest that you send a donation with that as well, because to help,
yes, we do.
To help cover to help cover costs.
Yeah, the first 8 issues were free, and then this thing called reality kind of set in. Realized couldn't do that too much longer.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
your costs run what, about $75 per issue?
Yeah. Something like that. So
and that's really cheap. I mean, $5 for a year is like zip, really. I mean, that's how much you spend on milk twice a week, or some people spend on milk twice a week, or like twice a month.
We have cows, so.
Yeah. Oh well, we don't have cows, but we have a grocery store, and also another reminder: we are going to be doing some fundraising. If you want to help, please give us a call. We'll go ahead and put up the address and the phone number right now, so you can contact us. You might want to go get a piece of paper and a pencil and write that down. Just write to This Gay Life, P.O. Box 1434, Springfield, Missouri 65801, and the telephone number is 417-888-6927. And that's if you need information on any of the groups that were mentioned today, or if you want to go ahead and help us out with fundraising. If you just want to like donate, I guess, directly or something, you can contact us about that too. It's through the Chariot Project. And I'd like to thank my guest, Mike Bromberg, for being here. Well, it's just been wonderful.
It's really nice.
No news tips on the way out?
Keep your eyes open.
Get involved, read a little. Yeah.
Reach out to people.
Yeah. Be nice to each other.
Peace, love, granola.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And enjoy the newsletter. You'll really want to read it after this, I just know it. Anyway, thanks for joining us for This Gay Life. My name's Cruz Devon.